Do not overshare just because someone is being nice to you. What if I told you that the nicest person in the room might not be your friend at all? That the person who laughs at all your jokes, nods along like they completely understand you, and asks you thoughtful questions could actually be gathering information about you without you even realizing it. And I know when you first hear this, it might sound a little dramatic, but be honest. How many times have you walked away from a conversation thinking, damn, why did I tell him all of that? Maybe it was a coworker you barely know. Maybe it was a new friend, a neighbor, or even a stranger who just had that trustworthy energy. They were warm, they were kind, and they seemed genuinely interested in you. And before you knew it, you were opening up, talking about your family, your job, your insecurities, maybe even your past mistakes. At the time, it felt natural. It felt like a real connection. But later, when you replay the conversation in your head, that nagging thought creeps in. Did I just overshare? And that's the moment it hits you. Not everyone who listens to you has good intentions. Why do we overshare? Why is oversharing so easy? Why does it happen so often? Well, number one, it's human nature. We're wired to seek connection, and sharing personal experiences, opening up about our thoughts and feelings, that's how we bond with people, because it makes us feel heard, understood, and valued. And we also tend to assume that if someone is kind to us, then that must mean they're trustworthy. Or if they're listening, nodding, giving us their full attention, then surely they're a good person. And it almost feels rude to hold back. It feels almost unnatural not to reciprocate the energy they're showing us. And then there's that silence, the uncomfortable gap in a conversation where no one is talking. And instead of letting it happen, we fill it with personal details, sometimes way more than we intended. And it doesn't really help that some people are really good at making you feel safe. They know exactly what to say when you let your guard down. They ask the right questions, share just enough about themselves to make you think you're on equal footing, and suddenly you're talking, and then you keep on talking. And then before you realize it, they know more about you than you ever knew about them. But there's dangers in oversharing. Maybe you're thinking, so what? You don't have anything to hide. And sure, maybe nothing you share is a huge secret. Maybe it's all stuff you'd say in a casual conversation anyway. But oversharing isn't just about secrets. It's about control. The more someone knows about you, the more power they have, whether they choose to use it against you or not. Really think about it. Have you ever told someone a personal detail only to have it come back and haunt you later? Maybe you vented about your boss to a coworker only to find out that they told the wrong person. Maybe you opened up about something personal and now that person uses it to manipulate you or make passive aggressive comments that hit a little too close to home. And then there's the social media effect. People share so much online without realizing how dangerous it can be. Posting about vacations while you're away from home. That's an invitation to burglars. Posting about your new job, your favorite coffee shop, your daily routine. That's valuable info for anyone who wants to track your movements. Scammers love overshares. They pay attention to details. If you casually mention the name of your childhood pet, your first car, or your mother's maiden name, guess what happens? You just gave away potential answers to security questions. And I know if that sounds ridiculous, just remember, the best manipulators don't steal from you. They get you to hand things over willingly. And this isn't just a theory. People overshare all the time and then regret it later. A perfect example, job interviews. I don't know if you've done this or if you ever heard of someone talking too much in an interview and then ruining their chances. Maybe they made a joke about hating deadlines or admitted that they struggle with staying organized. It might have meant at first, it might have been meant as a lighthearted comment, but in the employer's mind, it became a red flag. Or even relationships. Have you ever had a friend who shared way too much, way too soon? Maybe they met someone new and then within days, they were spilling their entire life story. Bad relationships, financial problems, childhood trauma. It felt intense. It felt too soon. And more often than not, that relationship burns out just as fast as it started. The point is, oversharing too early can make people lose respect for you. It can make you seem desperate for validation or emotionally unbalanced, even if that's not who you really are. And then let's not forget about office gossip. People think venting to coworkers is harmless until they realize workplace friendships don't really last. You might think you have a trusted friend at work, but the second things change, whether it's promotions, conflicts, office politics, what you shared can be used against you. Once you put your information out there, you lose control over it. Now, maybe you're thinking, what do I do? Do I shut people out? Do I never open up to anyone? Not at all. This is not about being cold. It's not about isolating yourself or even overthinking everything. It's about moving smart. The trick is pausing before you speak. Before you share something personal, ask yourself, does this person really need to know this? Would I be okay if this got back to someone else? Do I know this person well enough to trust them? If the answer is no, keep it light. Keep it surface level. You can still be friendly without handing over your entire life story. And if someone's pushing for details, that's always a red flag. Genuine people respect boundaries. They don't pressure you for information, and they don't make you feel guilty for keeping things private. And you can also always redirect the conversation. If someone asks something too personal, turn the question back on them. For example, let's say they start saying, yo, are you seeing anyone? Respond something like, dating is an adventure. What about you? Any good stories? That sounds cheesy, but boom, you answered without actually answering. If humor is your thing, use it. If someone is prying, just smile and say, I tell you, but then you'd have to swear you keep it a secret. Or if you don't feel like explaining, just say, I like to keep some things private. Simple, effective, no further discussion needed. I'll leave you with this before I go. At the end of the day, being careful about what you share isn't about paranoia. It's about self-respect. Not everyone deserves access to your personal life. Trust is something that's earned over time, not given freely just because someone is nice. So the next time you feel yourself oversharing, just pause, think, and ask yourself if this person truly has earned the right to know that part of you. Because once something is out there, you cannot take it back. I look forward to seeing you in the next video. In the meantime, stay humble, be blessed, and keep going.